This podcast is part of the Big Heads Media Podcast Network. For more great podcasts, head over to bigheadsmedia.com.
Currently on TV Tuners.
Hi there, folks, and welcome to TV Tuners. It's a television podcast for the true fanatics. It's a weekly dive in the latest in TV news and reviews. I'm your host, Swanson. With me, as always, is my co-host and Santa, who's gonna rob some places.
Ho, ho! Your jewels
Stairmaster.
are your life, motherfuck! Empty those pockets.
Take whatever you want, Santa. I'm actually real sad that you're sort of a B plot.
Now let me.
I really thought you were going to be the A plot.
I can't believe I've been superseded by Christ once more.
Yeah, it's as God intended. When he said in the Ten Commandments that Christmas will be a holiday,
and then made Santa a saint.
Yeah. Welcome to TV Tuners. It is just me and Stairmaster. Last I heard, Keo Rain was forced to take over the reins of Santa Claus after he had killed him.
Yes. Very tragic. A mugging gone wrong.
Yeah, well, he thought Santa was mugging him, but Santa was just, like, leaving presents. But he did shoot him dead, so now he has to complete the sort of role.
He thought that Santa was the Santa I am.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Because you are, in fact, the...
Klepto Santa.
Yeah.
Well,
which I guess is just the Grinch.
We're all parts of a greater Santa whole, Swanson. If you talk to your pastor more, you'd know about this.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, my pastor is currently in a coma. He's been pushed against the wall.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. What type of wall?
Yeah. Looked like a normal one. I don't know.
So, plaster. Probably.
Yeah, I guess.
It's not the wall that kills you, it's the fall.
I guess, yeah. True. That's what they always say. So yes, welcome to TV Tuners. And if you like what you're hearing, Merry Christmas to you all and Happy Holidays.
Ho, ho, ho.
Season's greetings.
Mm-hmm. Ouch!
You see, I say Christmas, Stairmaster, because I'm not about this war on Christmas, this Happy Holidays stuff.
I can take it or leave it. I'm fine either way. I'm the centrist on this matter. Perhaps we do need to commit Christian genocide. Who am I to say?
That's not really a centrist point, but I'll take it.
Well, my ambivalence is what makes me centrist. And my passive acceptance and support.
If you like what you're hearing so far, though, why not consider subscribing? Mm-hmm. We're available on all of the podcast apps of your choice. Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, more. Any place you find podcasts, we're there and waiting.
And perhaps as a little holiday gift, you could give us a 5-star.
Yeah, give us a 5-star, maybe a review. That's helpful. We would love to see that in our stockings.
Yes, be our 3 wise men. Since only 3 people listen to this.
Sure.
And one of them is the host.
Keo does listen to this while he's out there doing the job of Santa Claus.
What a guy.
So, gather around with your cocoa or your eggnog or whatever holiday beverage you prefer. Wine, tequila.
Your jingle nugs. I just came up with that.
Expand on what that is.
It's weed.
Oh, okay. Yeah, do all of that and make sure you give us a good old TV Tuner subscribe.
Imagine a skunk, but it's Christmas colored. That'd be crazy.
Like if it was just naturally like that, like no one did that to it.
It was green and red.
That'd be a cool skunk. I'd hang out with that skunk.
I wouldn't. It might make me smell bad.
Well,
might be poisonous.
Maybe it makes you smell like Christmas. Ever think about that?
That might be super poisonous. Like if you ever tried to eat a Christmas ornament, what do you think would happen to you?
Well, I don't know. Cats seem to do it, and they're fine.
They were apex predators, though.
Oh, yeah. Very true. And listen, if you want to connect with us on a level above just subscribing,
if you
we're available on Twitter for your...
you can email us.
Oh, yeah, you can also email us.
Yes, subject, I'm horny. So I know who's interested in the position.
You can also DM us on Twitter, if that's a thing you're into.
For quick...
Yeah, DMs are open for our interns. It's at TV Tuners on Twitter. Full of great TV content if you just want to scroll and look at all the TV coverage.
Yeah, and if you're sending text, don't worry about the interns. They're all vetted.
Yeah,
you can trust
that's
them with
right.
that information.
And, of course, email-wise, if you have any quips, comments, questions, foresights, or otherwise, you can send them to us at tvtunerspodcast@gmail.com. What's that email, Stair?
tvtunerspodcast@gmail.com.
That's right.
Sorry.
And that's about it. So let's get into. Let's not waste any more time.
Yes.
Here, let's not jerk around.
Yes.
All right.
Let's get into it. The recap.
Oh, I was talking about the rabble.
Oh, that's good. That's good too.
Yeah. So this is a segment here on the pod for those unaware, where we talk about the show that we're going to watch. Give you some. Normally we give you some IMDb reviews and some Rotten Tomatoes reviews, but this is the Christmas episode. So we're talking about a classic television show, which means that it's kind of predates the internet.
And Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, more importantly. But there are IMDb reviews available, and we've got some doozies for you this week. Do you want to start, sir?
Yes, my review comes from Step Makado, who writes in his review, Walker, Texas Ranger. I think that Walker is one of the best written dramas I have ever seen on TV. Chuck Norris is by far and away one of the greatest actors I in my 60 years have seen. I would dare make a comparison to Lawrence Oliver or Peter O'Toole. Why is he not in more movies or TV dramas is beyond me. 3 exclamation marks. He has the ability to grasp the intricate details of the script and emote as if he'd actually lived the part. It appears to me that he understands the emotion of being in precarious situations and conveys the same. The writers of the script can only be compared to David Mamet or Oscar Wilde. Trevette, this painting looks just like me, but younger. Better not mess with it, Walker.
Could you imagine Chuck Norris and Lawrence of Arabia?
I'm thinking more like Chuck Norris in The Sopranos or whoever. Wait, what David Mamet write?
David Mamet didn't write The Sopranos. No, that's David Chase.
Oh, Glenn Glary, Glenn Gloss. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, could you imagine Chuck Norris saying coffee's for winners?
Oh, you would say it like this. Coffee's for winners. For closers. Put that down.
Oh, yeah, it's for closers.
Put that down, champ. He calls the guy champ.
Mamet also wrote The Untouchables.
Oh, I didn't see that.
And most notably for stuff that I've watched, he wrote the 2001 Hannibal movie.
Oh, how was that?
So not all good ones.
You hate to see it.
As for roles that I could think of, let's see, Laurence Olivier, he's got some good ones there.
As opposed to Chuck Norris.
Hey, I mean, Chuck Norris has got like a good few, right?
There was that time he shot that guy with the rocket launcher. Or that other time he shot some people with the rocket launcher.
Oh, that's right. Laurence Olivier plays the male lead in Hitchcock film Rebecca.
According to Wikipedia, he also plays man shooting others with rocket launcher.
Oh?
Yeah, so I guess Chuck Norris doesn't even have that.
Chuck Norris could play that role, though.
I guess you're right.
There's nothing stopping him.
Yes. Except Laurence Olivier's agent.
That's right. Was it the least surprising thing ever when the person said they were 60?
Well, I think this is all fabricated in a work. So I don't believe any of it.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. I just hope that when I'm 60, I'm never that.
Actually, think about it, my dad would probably write something good up. Like this.
Oh, God.
If he had an
are we
IMDb
all destined
account.
to become like this?
Maybe. My dad was 60 in the year 2008 when this review was written, I think.
Oh, my God.
Why not?
Seems like you need to have a long talk with your father.
No, I'm kidding. He was like 50-something.
Oh. Looking at, like, the list of movies that both Olivier and Peter O'Toole have been in, I really have not watched a lot of old movies.
No, they all sucked before, like, Mad Max invents modern filmmaking.
That's fair. So, I have a review here.
Yes.
It is not, it doesn't have a star rating.
Oh, mine doesn't
but
either.
It is titled Violence for Violence Sake. And it's by Sarge Bree.
What year is this from?
2004.
So the show's still on the air. No, it had only been recently.
That's
it was
right.
Still
the show had
syndication.
been gone for a while. Yeah, by this point, I think, is when Conan O'Brien is doing the Walker lever. To me, this show stands as the last hurrah for the so-called super cop shows that dominated the 70s and 80s. Thankfully, after this show went off the air, so did all the cop shows that didn't have any basis in reality.
Oh, those are the best kind!
This show was a dinosaur in an era where more and more shows were becoming more and more based in reality. However, the thing that really turned me off about it was its shoot first, ask questions later mentality. If things were like that in real life, then the crime rate would decline rapidly, because all criminals would be dead. 2 out of 9 found this helpful.
What all criminals would be dead if the cops just went around shooting people? I feel like they were just stopping cops after a while.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the more important thing is for them to just sort of arrest people.
Yes. And figure out who's doing crimes.
Yeah. Also, I don't know if... I guess Walker, Texas Ranger, has a shoot first, ask questions later mentality, huh?
Yes.
I guess it's more of like a kick first.
In this episode, yes, he does assault people without identifying himself as law enforcement.
Yeah. I do love this bit here that apparently all other shows since then have basis in reality. Considering that most of the shows on CBS are about every week there's a new serial killer that you gotta catch.
I wonder how many serial killers Walker had to chase down.
I don't know. I was looking at some of the descriptions for the episodes, and it seems like he fights a lot of bank robbers.
Well, it's Texas, and he's a cowboy.
Yeah, that's fair. That's true.
Season 3, episode 26, Hall of Fame. A serial killer from CD's past taunts him as he prepared for the induction to the Texas Ranger Hall of Fame. Walker and Trevette set out to help CD bring him to justice. Features Baboon, the band, whose most famous thing was being on an episode of Walker, Texas Ranger.
Well, I guess when that's your claim to fame, Wikipedia might as well mention that you were on there. Yeah, there's a Texas Ranger Hall of Fame. Apparently.
In episode 24 and 25 of Season 4, Sons of Thunder, when a preacher friend of Walker's dies, his military son Trent returns to take care of his family. Walker tries to get him to become a police officer, but this proves difficult because of Trent's refusal to carry a firearm, because of a childhood incident with a revolver that resulted in the death of a friend. Meanwhile, a serial cop killer is on the loose, and one of the targets happens to be Carlos Sandoval, a good friend of Walker and Trent. Note, in syndication, this is a 2-part episode.
Oh. Here's the thing I think I've noticed with the show Walker, Texas Ranger.
Uh-huh.
The descriptions sound a lot cooler than what actually happens when you watch the show.
Yeah. It's not great, but I think the show still has some moments, like when he's in the woods and he has to fight a bear. That's cool.
Oh, yeah. That'd be something.
Yes.
Okay, imagine the movie Hell or High Water, but it's, instead of Jeff Bridges as the sheriff who's tracking down the bank robbers, it's Walker, Texas Ranger.
Imagine No Country for Old Men, except it's Walker, Texas Ranger.
In the Tommy Lee Jones role, in Sugar's role?
Sugar's role. Call it, friend.
Call it, friendo. You've been calling it your whole life.
That might actually be like a god tier performance.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. Would he have the same haircut as Sugar?
Yes. He's still rocking it, like even in his 60s.
I mean, it's impressive that he's that old and still has hair.
Yes, and can still kick at his age.
Yeah. Well, it's all that, what was it, Bowflex? Was that the thing he was always talking?
No, it's Total Gym.
Yeah, yeah, it's because of all that Total Gym workout that he stays in shape, you know.
Oh, another fun thing is that multiple members of the Norris family have directed episodes of the show.
Yeah,
his brothers,
looking
his son.
at the credits. Yeah, looking at the credits of this after I was finished watching this episode and seeing that Aaron Norris was an executive producer, I was like, yeah, this seems like a family affair type of deal. Fun fact, Aaron Norris directed infamous Chuck Norris film Top Dog.
Oh, that makes sense.
I forgot. I'm just sort of going through a Wikipedia rabbit hole here, but bear with me.
I'm still looking at the episode synopses still.
Top Dog was negatively impacted on its box office by the timing of its release, which was only 9 days after the Oklahoma City bombing.
Oh, I thought you were going to say like the Ruby Ridge shooting, since they killed his dog in that.
Oh, yeah. I think there might be bombings in this movie is what I'm getting the impression of.
Ooh, Season 3, Episode 13, Flashpoint. Irish militants are trying to kill a peacemaker. But when the plan results in the leader being captured, the man's son plots to free him.
Dang.
Wow, it's just Patriot games. Both Chuck Norris.
Yeah, that makes sense. Holy crap. Chuck Norris is 80 years old at this point.
Ooh, rest in peace.
Yeah. So yeah, that's, stay tuned. We'll get more into Walker later in the show. Don't you worry. Don't you fret.
Mm-hmm.
But, with all that out of the way, what'd you watch this week? Anything interesting?
I watched Sicario, Day of the Soldado.
Ooh.
I'm not sure who the Soldado is. And the film takes place over multiple days. Also, I only watched an hour of it.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's not great. The film starts off at a very high level with radical Muslim terrorists blowing up a grocery store in Kansas City. And that's awesome because you get this wide single-take shot of all the carnage. And there's one guy left with the suicide vest, and this mother and her child are trying to bargain with him, and then he presses the button and you just see them vaporized.
A very different message than what seemed to be the original movie.
Yeah. It's good that they're invading Mexico in this, I think.
And it is like, is it a prequel?
No, I think it's a sequel.
That's why. I guess that's true because Emily Blunt's not here,
yes.
So they don't have a woman for them to sort of have to.
Oh no, they have the mob boss's daughter. They have to protect.
Oh,
who sort of gets lost in the desert, sort of like Saul Goodman at the end of the season of Better Call Saul. Right. And Benicio del Toro has to rescue her, and they find a deaf-mute Mexican laborer on a farm. And Benicio del Toro spends like what feels like 10 minutes talking to him in sign language, and at that point I just turned it off.
Yeah, that's probably for the best, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird because the original Sicario is sort of about how like this is all terrible and bad, and then it feels like This one is more like, yeah, this stuff, this kicks ass.
This is terrible, but we gotta do it. We had to do it too. Because the way it's not like this film shows violence in a different way than Sicario. There's the same amount of consequences.
I don't know if I want to watch a sequel to the movie featuring the two characters who by the end of the movie are the most reprehensible.
Oh, you mean the child murderer? Benicio del Toro?
Yeah.
How many kids did that guy have that he shot?
It wasn't like 5?
I think it was 2. Plus the mother.
Oh, okay. Yes. Yeah, like it's, yeah. But hey, he did it for revenge there, so it's all good.
Yeah. He drew
as
first
long
blood,
as you do
Swanson.
things for vengeance. It's true, yeah. He didn't draw first blood, they did. Yeah. Anything else?
No.
This week I finished up watching the final series of Poirot. It was fine.
Yes.
It was good stuff.
The saga continues.
Yeah. They adapt the final... there's a weird thing here where the last book that Agatha Christie released of Poirot was actually written like decades before she died.
Uh-huh.
She wrote it just in the case of her dying, so that there would still be a conclusion.
Oh. Nice.
Which is pretty cool. So, like, the book before that is, like, one of the worst that she's ever written because she's, like, 80 years old and forgets details and stuff. It has, like, no editor.
And she likes to just control the N-word in there.
Probably. That was probably the only editing that got done in that book, in that penultimate book.
Oh, dear.
But the final book is written in like her prime, so it's like a worthy conclusion. So the final episode is a very good ending, and he does die. Spoilers, but
a virgin?
No. I mean, I think he's like at that point celibate, probably, but
he did lay pipe at some point in the past.
Oh, for sure.
Okay, good.
Yeah, the episode previous to that is also like a classic Poirot. He goes to like a ski resort that there's been a murder in. One of his old flames is there, and she's
the murderer.
She is she's her daughter's the murderer. That's the big reveal.
Did he let her get away with it? When he finds
no, because he had let her get away with a crime previous.
Oh,
and she begs him in this one to let her daughter get away with the same crime, and he cannot. To showcase that he has changed.
Wait, so the mother was also a murderer then, since he said the same crime?
She wasn't a murderer. I think she was, I don't remember the specifics. I think she pulled off a heist of some sort.
No, heists are way cooler than murder.
Confirmed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 100%. Because, a heist, who's really losing out?
The casino bosses.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck 'em.
No one, I don't think people would be as on board for Ocean's 11 if George Clooney killed people in the movie.
Yeah.
Like, if he was just Mission Impossible styling, like, murdering people.
I think they kill a few
while
people.
Doing the heist.
I think they kill a few people in the Italian Job remake.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of fine, though.
Yeah, I guess. I don't think Jason Statham does any of the kills. Huge waste on the film's part.
Yeah. My point being that heists are cooler than murders. And yeah, other than that, I watched How the Grinch Stole Christmas. That's still bad. It's on Netflix, and Christmas time, so it's a bad movie.
Fuck it.
Yeah, Jim Carrey. It's weird. I used to think that Jim Carrey was like slumming it in the movie, like just really phoning it in. Watching it this time, it's clear that he is actually not the one phoning it in, and it's just everyone around him could care less.
Yeah, he's like a Christ-like figure, taking the sense of the film production onto himself.
Pretty much, he's just trying so hard, and everyone else in the movie could care less. Like, every scene with him in it is, like, not good, but at least better than every scene where he is not there.
Who else is in that movie besides Jim Carrey?
Jeffrey Tambor is in that movie. and he stinks it up big time in that one.
Oh.
I feel like there's someone else I'm missing who's in that movie. No one that is readily apparent in my mind.
Did you know Jim Carrey's an anti-vaxxer? I
do. Although he's said that he's technically not. He's weighing all of the options. So, take what you will from that.
And did you know that he was a plaintiff in a defendant in a wrongful death lawsuit?
For his ex, yeah.
Yeah. Rip.
Yeah. It's not a great time to be Jim Carrey. Also, he lost his job as Biden on SNL.
Oh, what was that?
I think he stepped down. I think he didn't want to do it.
According to Wikipedia, he had a 6-week deal.
Yeah, and he was just like, nah, I'm good. Apparently, Anthony Hopkins is the narrator in the movie, which I didn't even pick up on when I was watching the thing.
That's like Michael Douglas in the Dr. Seuss thing we watched.
Oh. Yeah. Michael Douglas is in that?
Yes, he plays the Green Eggs and Ham guy, Sam I Am.
Oh, that's right, yes. I know. Okay, I know what you're talking about now. I thought you were talking about, for some reason, you said Dr. Seuss and I heard Cat in the Hat.
No.
And I thought Michael Douglas was somehow in the Mike Myers Cat in the Hat movie.
Listen, have you ever had sex with an oddly colored pile of hat? I have. It's disgusting. But the
like he's playing
pleasure.
Like Thing 1.
Yeah.
And his dad's playing Thing 2.
Oh no.
I don't like the implications of that, but
he's also in Red Fish, Blue Fish as both fishes.
All right, well that's it for all of that. So let's get to the news, huh, Star?
Wait, I thought we were already doing the news.
No, we were talking about TV.
Okay, fair.
Now we're going to talk about TV, the news. That's right. Christmas is coming up, but that doesn't mean that it is. It's short on news.
That we're not
There's
getting
still stuff
anything.
going on. That's right. Well, I don't know. It depends on how you think. It depends on what you think constitutes as a gift. Like, for instance, do you want more Netflix adaptations of anime?
No.
Oh. Well, you are getting more of that because Netflix announced that their next live-action foray into adaptations of anime is Yu Yu Hakusho.
You mean that show with all the larger-than-life battles?
Yeah, and like the cool fashion choices with demons and like 5-armed like creatures just attacking this like teenager.
It was also cool because it's counter-set against the aesthetics of Japan. You get the invasion of the supernatural onto the mundane.
Also, there's no way, even if like you tone it down with the demons and like all the other stuff, there's no way you make Yusuke's baggy pants look cool in live action.
Absolutely not. That uniform would not work in real life. His like green Chairman Mao outfit.
Yeah, there's no way that looks good.
Yeah, how would you even do the baby guy? Since he's kind of more like a chibi man than a baby.
Alright, I have an idea, but you're not going to like it.
Don't say Danny DeVito.
Okay, well that's a better idea than I have. Could you imagine it? Yusuke, I got a mission for you!
Can I offer you this devil's eye in these trying times? What's the eye called?
I was going to say... What?
What was the eye he had called? It had a cool name.
Devil's Eye, right? Evil Eye? Evil Eye.
Evil Eye. For some reason I thought it would be more elaborate than that.
My suggestion is that what you do is you just take the boss baby and put him in there.
Oh no, they could do that technically, I think.
Yeah, you just take the animation, like the animation model of the boss baby, and then put some of like the clothing of the little baby on there.
He's got like that.
What they'll actually do probably is just skip the part where he's a baby and go right to him being like a
grown man
teenager.
with a pacifier in his mouth.
Yeah, which was doing something for some people, I imagine.
Yes.
Yeah, so this is following in the footsteps of the Cowboy Bebop remake. Still on hiatus after the lead broke his leg.
Ooh.
Anyway, this one's a bit more... I feel like this one might require more CGI work than Cowboy Bebop, because, like, at least with Cowboy Bebop, you can try and set it on a planet that's, like, not super futuristic.
Yes.
With this one, everyone has powers that are super, like... One's shooting laser guns, one has, like, a thorn whip.
Meanwhile, in Cowboy Bebop, Spike's core competency is he's basically a shittier version of John Wick.
Yes, pretty much. Wow, you know, when you think about it, he is pretty much just John Wick, only he's way more depressed.
I wonder why Keanu wanted to play him so badly.
That would have been a better idea all around, right?
Yes. We were wrong to deny him. We were wrong.
So if you could get Keanu from after Point Break to play Yusuke in a Yu Yu Hakusho movie,
I guess that would work.
Do you do it?
I think he could do that. It's a little old, but it would still work. I think.
I feel like at that point he could pull off teenager stuff.
Okay, still, yes.
Yeah, I think that's a good move right there. I could see that.
Except I think Yu Yu Hakusho was still being written after Point Break.
No, you just do the first, like, arc or two for the movie and hope that maybe it does well. It probably won't because it's, like, the mid-90s.
Yes. Well, the thing is, yes, it would be called Yu Yu Hakusho, and no one would want to watch a movie called that. They'd think it's, like, gypsies.
Yeah. So, yeah, they're also apparently doing a One Piece adaptation, so that's even weirder.
Fuck! Like, that would be... They're pirates on the high sea! Forget about the superpowers! That's gonna be a pain in the ass!
They went from 1 Cowboy Bebop to 50 Yu Yu Hakusho to 100.
Yes, and they're always traveling from island to island, so that means locations? You can't reuse sets?
Yeah, it doesn't... I don't know how they make any of this work.
I should just do a spin-off instead.
I mean, I should make I can make the obvious joke here, right? Yusuke's not getting any powers until the end
of the
first season.
He's going to be the ghost the whole first season.
Yeah.
You know that the anime actually cut down on the time Yusuke spends as a ghost?
Oh, like, he's a ghost for like a long period of time?
Yeah, there's an entire arc where he cuts back in his body for a day and beats up a gang that's been troubling Kuwabara and Co. But he has to hide his identity because if anyone sees him, he can never come back.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting. It's weird because, like, so Netflix already has a bad track record because they did that Death Note movie.
Oh, yeah. That some people in our friends groups still wildly stan.
Yeah, not me, that's for sure. That movie sucked. This is different though, I feel like, because like you're trying to do a series and it's hard already with a budget like Netflix to make these things work. Yeah. We've seen like the Netflix Marvel movies and just other shows that require a budget better than like, I don't know, the 2 pieces of plywood strapped together and that's like your weapon. I don't know. Either way, I'm not holding my breath on this one. Speaking of things that I'm not holding my breath on, this is sort of a callback to our first Christmas episode, Stairmaster. NBC is sort of digging through all of its old refuse, looking in the trash, seeing what it still has that it can sort of repaint and sort of ship to us to consume. And it's landed on its next big thing, Night Court.
Was this decision made before or after George Floyd?
After, because it's apparently happening now. And it's also made after the guy who played the lead, Harry, died. He's been dead for like 2 years now.
They weren't going to have the same guys come back, were they?
So this Night Court sequel is going to be focused on the daughter of Harry Stone, played by the late Harry Anderson. And original cast member John Larroquette, who you will remember as the guy who was talking about to Santa, about how he losing his job was a good thing or something.
Was that the guy with the gun?
The Santa held him up with the gun.
Oh, okay.
He's the narcissistic lawyer
who's constantly who's got like 5 mistresses.
He was kind of the breakout character, so it makes sense to bring him back. But no one else is coming back, I guess. I don't know.
Rest in peace.
You could probably bring like Bull back or somebody. Maybe another character whose name I don't remember.
I don't know. Because on one hand, you already got an American public that's kind of confused about how to feel about the police. On the other hand, you also have an American public that has no faith in its public institutions anymore and to see them as run-down, decrepit artifacts of a long-lost gold era. So I don't know how Night Court's going to play in these trying times.
Yeah. Do you think it's going to try for like the former episode of the pod, the Saved by the Bell remake, and be like attempt for wokeness and sort of
like
fail?
Co-opt it?
Yeah.
Sort of try and rehabilitate things? I think so. I think that's the only way that they'll be allowed to make it.
Yeah. It feels weird because, like, no one really remembers Night Court that much, right?
No. I didn't even know what it was when I recommended it for the pod. I just heard the theme song and thought it was a cool procedural.
And there's no way they're going to bring that theme song back in a way that isn't bastardized, so it feels kind of pointless. It's kind of like when they brought Murphy Brown back, a show that no one remembered because it was all political humor from the early 90s.
Yes.
And a show that no one really wanted back.
Yes. Okay, but what if they do a Vaporwave remix of the Night Court theme for the reboot?
Oh, I could like.
I would have to give them a full season just for that. Yes, it would sound exactly like that.
Yeah, that I would watch the entire series just if they did that. So, hey, if you're listening, NBC execs, you know how to get me in the viewing chair. The chamber of viewing.
AKA the couch.
That's right. That's what I call it. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of done with just remakes. Can we just stop?
Yeah.
Haven't we done enough?
Listen, Swanson, we live in an era where the old is dying, but refuses to let the new be born. We just have to cope with this wretchedness.
I was reading an article earlier today about how there's not like a whole bunch of new holiday songs.
Oh God!
And someone theorized that a lot of it is just that like baby boomers really love holiday music, and so will only insist on hearing the same like songs from the 50s, 60s, and 70s. And so any newer Christmas music sort of gets left off.
Like Happy Sexgiving.
Exactly. My favorite non-denominational holiday song.
Is Thanksgiving non-denominational?
No, but Sexgiving is.
Okay. It's true. It was invented by people of color.
So yeah, basically what I'm saying is, okay, boomers, it's time to let go.
Of life.
Yeah. All those baby boomer Santas out there.
Like, you should have seen the coronavirus as a sign from God. Something specifically targeting your age demographic. Yeah.
No, they
never learned.
No, they're probably wondering when the third Forrest Gump will come out and talk about it or something.
Who's the third Forrest Gump?
Well, because there was a sequel Forrest Gump book before the author died.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember? I think we've talked about this before.
Oh, yeah, we have. But here's my prediction.
Where he, 9/11 happens and he's there or something.
Here's my prediction, 2025, Forrest Gump 2, starring Tom Hanks.
Oh, okay.
It'll be the last-ditch effort to save the American movie industry from total annihilation.
Yeah. And it's played by every boomer's favorite actor, Tom Hanks. Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
Listen, Swanson, have you ever heard about this film, Forrest Gump? He's a simple man, but he's been through all of it. And he's kind of sexy.
Whoa. What else does he do?
He sort of just stands there while the Vietnam War happens.
Yeah. That's true.
His girlfriend dies of AIDS for being sympathetic to the Black Panthers.
And also for not adhering to traditional female role.
It was the Black Panthers thing. That's why the author wrote that in.
Yeah. I did it to her, Mommy. It was because those darn Panthers showed up on my doorstep.
Wow, I can't believe Ronald Reagan wrote Forrest Gump.
Hey, apparently the author of Forrest Gump was named Winston Groom.
Yeah, one of the supervising producers on the Walker, Texas Ranger episode we watched is Bob Gookin.
To the shock of nobody, he is in fact a boomer. He died this year, actually, September 17th.
Of what?
Ooh, let's see.
Come on, COVID, come on.
Heart attack.
Fuck.
Yeah, he was 77 years old. I guess he never got to write a third Forrest Gump book.
Hold on, Swanson, what condition? What condition was his body, and what did the doctor say? Maybe COVID was metastasizing in his heart? Huh?
I don't know, but they do say that he was 6 feet. He was 6'6", so it's probably...
You're right, it's probably the heart attack. It don't matter. Oh yeah, I've been watching The Sopranos. We probably should have mentioned that. I just watched the episode with the old guy who has to do one last hit. Very good.
Oh,
that show is like impossibly dense. I feel so exhausted after every episode. That's because they cram so much in there.
It's one of the best. It's one of the best shows for rewatching. Mm-hmm. It's just like, it's just so full of like details that are fun to pick up again and again.
I would argue that it deserves a spot on the TV trinity of shows all the white guys on the internet say are the best. Instead of The Shield, it should be The Sopranos. Next. I
mean, isn't that what they say?
No, they usually say it's Breaking Bad, The Wire, and The Shield.
Oh, I always considered it to be Breaking Bad, The Wire, and The Sopranos. Anyway, all shows with male anti-heroes hanging out doing things.
This guy's being fellas.
Yeah. So I was looking this up.
Yes.
The sequel book is titled Gump and Co.
Gump and Go?
Gump and Co.
Oh. This time it's about his friends as well.
I guess, which is weird, because at the end of the movie, he doesn't seem to have any more friends.
What about the guy with no legs?
Oh, yeah. I guess he's there.
Or is he dead?
No, because he's in this book, apparently.
Oh. Is he involved in 9/11?
Jenny's ghost appears to him at one point.
Nice.
He does a... Oh, no. Okay. Once at Union Station in Washington, Forrest sees a homeless handicapped man who says he is Lieutenant Dan, who had fallen in with those who took advantage of him, absconded with his retirement money, leaving him bankrupt.
What?
On top of that, Dan has become half blind. Forrest, not wishing to see Dan homeless, says they will work something out. Okay. Forrest soon meets with a Marine colonel who recruits Forrest into a clandestine mission to Iran.
Hold on, what?
They meet with the president, who Forrest thinks might have been a cowboy or an actor. President Reagan congratulates Forrest on winning the Medal of Honor, and when Forrest simply states, "I just ran," the president remarks, "The report said it was while you were rescuing 6 or 7 of your fallen men." On the mission itself, they meet Ayatollah Khomeini. The mission is discovered, and everyone disavows responsibility, save for Forrest, who is jailed.
So, this sounds like a major historical event.
Yeah. Instead of just like some dude who was there at major historical events. Anyway, one final news item here.
Oh, really?
Probably a quick one. Yeah, I don't know if there's much to talk about with this news item itself, but we'll see. Season 2 of The Mandalorian has ended. And after all of the big sort of Disney Plus shenanigans that we talked about last week, Marvel had DC.
Disney.
Why can't I do this all the time? Disney Plus had one last big announcement to make. Disney Plus had one big announcement to make, which was a new Star Wars show, a little secret one.
Again?
They were waiting until the end to give you the book of Boba Fett.
Is this a sequel to the Book of Eli or whatever? But with Boba Fett?
I would watch like a Book of Eli-esque Boba Fett story, yeah.
Yes, that's a movie people will sit in the seats for if you just make it a movie by itself.
Yeah. Slight spoilers for The Mandalorian, so skip ahead a few minutes. This is going to take place immediately following the second season, where I haven't watched the final episode, so I don't know, but apparently
the Mandalorian
Boba
makes
Fett
out with Luke Skywalker.
I have heard Luke is there. Apparently, Boba Fett and Ming-Na Wen's character, who returns from season 1, are team-up pals, and they sort of take over Jabba's palace for reasons. And I guess they'll be following whatever happens after that.
So wait, they're not going to go after the Mandalorian? They're just going to live their own lives?
I think they're team-up folks with the Mandalorian.
What?
He got his armor back from Mandalorian.
Oh.
That was all he was really after. So Tamora Morrison will reprise his role as the bounty hunter. I really do enjoy this sort of late career resurgence for Tamora Morrison.
Didn't the original Boba Fett die the other month?
He did, recently, yeah.
Yeah, rest in peace.
No piss for this man. This is Favreau, who is going to be a producer along with Dave Filoni, and oddly enough, Robert Rodriguez.
Oh, that's interesting.
Are going to says this will be separate from season 3 of The Mandalorian, and that this is going to actually set up whatever's going on next in the Mandalorian saga.
Oh, so it's commercial for season 3 of The Mandalorian.
Yeah, sort of like how The Mandalorian Season 2 was mostly, at least at the point that I've been watching, a commercial for all the other spin-offs.
And Mandalorian Season 1 was...
just a show, yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's why we liked it.
It's hard to say what the Book of Boba Fett is going to do, but considering that the episode that Robert Rodriguez directed of The Mandalorian was my favorite of the season, I hope that he directs some more.
Yeah, I haven't seen an episode since Baby Yoda committed genocide against the frog people.
I'm gonna wait to talk to give a full consensus once I've watched the last 2 eps, but the last ep I watched did have Boba Fett show up and confront the Mandalorian, and there's some very good action set pieces with Boba Fett, it's directed by Robert Rodriguez, so you would expect that. Mm-hmm. But it's straight up him with one of those Tusken Raiders staffs. Just destroying stormtroopers armor. You see armor get crunched and helmets are broken when he hits people with it. It's the closest to visceral violence that Star Wars gets.
Well, what about that?
At least these days.
Yes. Yeah, we need more blood in Star Wars.
Yeah, we need more.
Back to tanks.
We need more limbs being removed.
Back to tanks are now blood tanks.
Yeah, it's weird that George, for all of the talk about how George Lucas appealed to children, he did sort of end his last movie with a man having all of his limbs ripped off and then falling into a pit of lava. Yeah,
and that was also got the highest rating from the MPA out of the entire saga.
That's true. And there's nothing like that in any of the other Star Wars movies since.
The closest
Disney wouldn't dare.
Kylo Ren getting shot in the gut and then punching himself to feel more pissed off when he's fighting later on.
Yeah, okay.
That is kind of cool, I think. I tried doing that for a while after I saw that.
Yeah, how did that work?
Not at all. Oh, I was trying to do push-ups in the Navy or squats, and I kept falling over, and the instructor was yelling at me, so I hit my thigh. And I was just like, what the fuck are you doing? You fucking idiot.
What a great experience it sounds like that was for you.
Yeah. Good times. For anyone who thinks I am a sellout, I was only in the Navy for 2 months.
And he pretty much did just steal money from them.
Taxpayers, so yeah. Praxis.
Yeah. So, this looks like it's going to be another Star Wars. There's just too much stuff.
There's too much.
Right?
Yeah.
I get it. You want to keep people subscribed to Disney Plus, but hey, Just maybe just make a few things.
I mean, look at Gundam. They haven't done a major television series since 2015.
Yeah. Although, to be fair, wasn't that because they, crapped out big time?
No. Iron Blooded Orphans was a mad success.
Oh, all right.
I think even the model kits were very popular with the young folk.
Yeah, that's what I was... When The Mandalorian started, I was like, maybe Disney's, just taking it slow for a little bit. No, money must be made at all costs. And so that's why we have yet another Star Wars series. That could bring the total of series that are going to be on Disney Plus to 11.
Yikes.
It's too many. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's... I don't really have anything else much to say about that other than that's too much. Get it out of here.
No more.
And with that, that's all the news, Stairmaster.
Oh, thank God.
So now we can get to our main event this evening. Waste no more time. It is a holiday episode of TV Tuners, so we're talking about a classic TV show. And what's more classic than this one? Walker Texas Ranger is the Chuck Norris starring vehicle that follows the titular Texas Ranger
Walker,
along with his partner Trevette and a few other Texas Rangers as they go about their civic duty of rangering.
His partner Trevette and other two partners, white guy and a woman.
Yes.
Who exists solely so Chuck Norris did not have to do as many stunts in his old age.
The series was ran for 8 years on CBS, which is a fact I found out while looking up this show. Yes. Walker Texas Ranger can be found, I don't know, somewhere probably.
That's on Hallmark still.
Oh, it's actually, if you're looking for... It's on Pluto TV, if that's a thing that your TV has available. I've heard a lot of rave reviews for Pluto TV, which is just like an internet TV sort of thing, I guess. They have TV channels that you tune to.
I think we looked at that a while back.
Yeah, I remember they had an MST3K channel that I watched occasionally. They have a game show channel that's just all 70s game shows with people you've never heard of. Did this show leave you in a faith for the Almighty, or did it roundhouse kick you in the face?
This is a complicated question. I'm not sure how to feel about this episode.
Yeah, this is an interesting... Listen, I mean, it both disappointed and exceeded expectations. Sometimes in the same scene.
Yes.
So this episode is late in the show's run.
Yeah, season 7.
You were telling me that. Yeah, you were telling me that previously the show had been was very different when it started.
It was a lot more violent, and now it's very controversial. I remember watching a season 1 episode at 11 p.m. on USA. And the Yakuza were just stabbing this guy. And it's ah!
Oh. Huh.
Yeah, all right. Violence.
Well, that's something. So they toned that down, I guess, in later seasons.
This is more kid-friendly.
Yeah, this is potentially the most religious episode of a television show I've ever watched.
Yeah.
This might be the most religious thing. This is more religious than some church services I've been to. And you're telling me that this show is normally like this. This isn't just a Christmas. They're bringing it out for the season.
There's been a lot of supernatural stuff, and yes, the Christ stuff is also played heavily. But now that you got me on the spot, I can't remember of any other Christ stuff. Which there was a ton of. The show also liked to play up his Native American ancestry and the magic abilities that gave him.
Oh.
Yeah,
that's good.
Like him smelling the ground until a plane crashed there. Also the episode where he broke into the government base and found out about aliens.
Oh, it was a crossover, and then he ran into Mulder and Scully?
No, this was NBC, unfortunately. I think the episode just ends with them looking at the film, and they don't even tell you what happens. You're just supposed to imagine the consequences of this knowledge being passed on to them.
I wish there was an episode of Walker, Texas Ranger where he traveled back in time to the Kennedy assassination.
No, there is one where he rides a jetpack at the end.
I've seen that one. I've seen that clip.
I guess he was fighting jetpack thieves or something. Walker told me I have AIDS.
And that's classic, yeah. We've all seen that one, I think. So yes, we open up here. Everyone is at this
bar.
I guess bar.
Yes, CDs.
CD, who is the man who I thought was Wilford Brimley before. I was like, there's no way he's slumming it.
No,
in
this is
show.
a former congressman. Something Geisen.
Oh.
Yeah, he ran for Congress. Right. I think off the back of the show.
And lost, or?
No, he... Let me check. I think he actually won the election. The first actor won the election and then left the show because he was in office now. So they replaced him with the guy we currently see.
Very interesting.
And he died in 2000. The first actor died in 2004.
Oh, well, rest in peace.
Wait, no. The one we saw did get elected to Congress, Texas Congress.
Yeah, why not?
Apologies, everyone.
So, this is a season 7 episode. We open up right off the bat here. They're all at CD's place. They all mention that shopping for Walker is real hard during the Christmas season because apparently he doesn't like gifts of any sort.
Yeah, it's like Superman and Batman. Batman doesn't know what to get him.
Oh yeah, what do you give the man who has everything? And Walker mentions that you can donate to like a bogus. He mentioned some bogus charity.
Oh, Kick Drugs Out of America. I think that's a real one that he started. Chuck Norris.
Oh no, I'm sure it's a real charity. I'm just I'm saying that there's no way that charity is actually good.
Oh, you don't trust Chuck Norris with this nonprofit?
Not in the slightest. No. I trust Chuck Norris with that nonprofit about as much as I trust him to sell me a Total Gym.
Do you know there's a Total Gym in my house?
Is it because of Chuck Norris?
Yes. My mom got it because of the commercials, and she told me she was very pissed when she saw the instruction video because it just had some Italian guy instead of Chuck Norris.
Well, yeah, of course he wasn't going to do the instruction video.
Why not? His thing is physical
like 70.
fitness. It's lifting weights. He can just adjust the weights if it's too much for him.
No, I think he made a deal with the people. He was like, I'll be in the commercials, but I'm not doing the video.
What the fuck? I don't see what its problem is.
He didn't want to do it.
But your face is already on the product. You've already sold out. You're not selling out extra by also being in the...
Oh, I don't think it's about selling out so much as he didn't want to do the extra work.
Oh, he's tired.
Yeah. Yeah, and you can tell he's tired in this one, too.
Oh, yeah.
He does very little in this episode.
And all of his fights are close-ups.
Yeah.
Well, cuts, multiple cuts every, 5 seconds.
Which I think is just the seems to be the style of fighting.
That might just be the budget. Yeah.
Because all the fight scenes do have sort of the same shot, but from 5 different angles and at various speeds.
Yeah, which in 1993 was the coolest shit ever.
Yeah. But at this point it's 99, so I guess at this point everyone's sort of just yawning a little bit.
Yeah, compared to the Matrix.
I will give one thing that I think this show has better than anybody else does and anywhere else in the Hollywood landscape. The whoever is doing the sound effects on this one,
oh yeah,
needs like a new job.
He needs to be promoted.
Needs like a promotion.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love the punching noises.
I love that even later when what's his name, Juan. When Juan grabs a guy, you hear like a whoosh.
Yeah, that's the sound the skin makes as it's crushed into his hand.
like he grabs a guy and then slightly shoves him, and it's just like a Like, every sound effect feels like someone dropped a stack of books.
Which was probably all the Foley artists had access to.
Yeah. So, they're celebrating Christmas or whatever. Cut to the first of many Christmas songs that generic Christmas songs that you'll hear in the background.
And by generic, we mean Christmas song, licensed music that people are familiar with.
But covered by, like, no names.
Mm-hmm. There's like 5 of these. And like at least 2 montages.
First off, there's so many. It's a mall. There's so many Santas there. It's like I'm watching SantaCon. There's like 5 Santas just hanging out in one area.
Yeah. Have you
ever seen more than one Santa on a location?
No, I would be deeply concerned, even if I wasn't thinking of armed robbery.
Yeah, like if I'm a police officer or like a guard and I see more than one Santa, I'm already pulling out my weapon.
You're not wrong. No, I don't think society would accept that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
I was hoping that they would do I was hoping that this Santa storyline would be the A plot.
Oh no, yeah, they get this done like in half the episode. It's more like filler than a side plot.
Which is wild because it's before the opening. It's the teaser for the show.
Was that insane? Or did they do the opening twice?
They did. They did like a little here's Chuck Norris in the opening, and then they did the opening bit, like the stinger.
That must have been a weird artifact from its broadcast or something.
I have to assume, yeah. So what these Santas actually are bank robbers, and this is the first part where the sound effects are like really doing the work here, because these bank robbers attack with I guess just clubs. I don't know. They're just beating these people over the head with guns.
We don't see a good look at it.
But all we hear is like a.
Yeah, fuck off! These men are dead.
One of the Santas throws a man into the front of the car, and you hear like a.
Maybe we should just describe the sound effects we heard on this episode.
Yeah, I mean, and then they all get in the car and they drive away, and that's when in the eyes of a ranger.
Yeah, that's weird. I thought armored car guys would take the armored car, but I guess these guys are. I guess these guys were just happy with what those dudes were carrying.
Yeah, like there's more in did they not know there was more?
It's probably risky. You saw Heat. They got like 60 minutes before the 60 minutes before the cops show up.
Yeah. In this case, maybe, because it seems like Walker doesn't start sending people out to do their job about this bank robbery until like 5 banks have already been robbed.
Yeah, and his investigation process seems a little suspect. His idea is to look for malls that have easy access to the freeway. Which, that seems like all of them. Seems like the places malls would be built.
Yeah, that's also you can tell this was old. This is an old show because it's back when robbing malls was lucrative.
Yeah.
Now you'd be lucky if you broke even robbing a mall.
You'd be lucky if the cops showed up to stop you.
Yeah. So we cut to CD is at this this charity, this church.
Yeah. This is the scene with the play, right?
Yeah.
Where the children apparently don't know the story of Jesus.
I love that the pastor is telling the story to and the camera stays focused on this black kid who is like, I don't want to hear. Why is he doing this? And he tells him about like how to be pure of heart. Yeah,
he tells him. Yeah, he mentioned that. Yeah, the kids would let them stay, but the character wouldn't.
And I love that the look. I think the look is supposed to be that like this kid has picked up the lesson, but what it implies to me is that this black kid is like, yeah, whatever. That doesn't make any sense to me. So we cut to we meet this guy Juan. This is one of those scenarios. These like It happens a lot in generics, like scripts for TV shows, where they will introduce characters as if they have already been there.
Oh yeah,
like they'll have one character that talk to all of these other characters for a little bit.
Yes,
but because Walker Texas Ranger is inept in almost everything it does, they don't even get that part really right.
Yeah, this Walker knows him by a first name basis.
Yeah, like, and also there's numerous scenes with Juan's friend and his wife just doing stuff. Yeah,
which confused me because his friend sort of looks like him, and also has a name that starts with J.
And also, all of those scenes have nothing to do with anything that's going on in the show.
It's also they can have that car accident at the end.
Well, yeah, like I guess it's supposed to be like it's setting up for that, but we don't. It's definitely just padding because there are like 3 scenes where it's just them being like, "We have a child and he's on the way."
We don't know what gender.
Yeah, and so Juan is as we learn later in a hilarious scene, is a former gangbanger. Yes. And he meets his old crew shows up. This scene was hilarious to me because the crew seems to just show up just to like talk shit to him.
Yeah, they're busting his balls.
And then after they're done, they don't like drive away; they back up and out, which is hilariously awkward.
They didn't have a permit.
Think it through.
The production crew didn't have a permit to drive that car any further forward.
They drive and they're like, "Hey man, you're converted now. Whatever, loser." And then they're like, "All right, see ya." Burp, burp, burp. Like I feel like right off camera, the car itself isn't being backed up. Someone's just like towing it.
It's Chuck Norris.
Yeah,
with a rope.
Yeah, he's just moving it.
That's why he couldn't film the instruction video for Total Jim. He was too tired from that scene.
Yeah, he had a tough day. He was riding on his jetpack. And then he had to go film this scene with pulling this rope to move this car.
Yes.
So, this is one of my favorite scenes in this first half here, which is Juan is teaching a class, I guess, at the church?
Yes, it's Sunday school.
Oh, okay. I guess.
Yeah, I guess, some churches take it more seriously and, go for the school aesthetic. My fellowship just kind of had to sit in a circle in the background while the real Jesus stuff happened.
And one of the kids is just like, "Hey, Juan, what's up with those tattoos?" And he's like, "Well, thanks for asking."
Yeah, he has one tattoo sticking out of his sleeve. That's all we see. And you can't even tell what it is. It kind of looks like a B, the letter.
He's like, "Oh, you mean this one?" He's like, "Yeah, it's a gang tattoo, right?" He's like, "Yeah, that's right. I used to be part of a gang, but then I saw the light of Lord Jesus."
And that taught me how to be a real man.
Yeah, God taught me how to be a real man, and I give it up to the Lord every day.
He actually
until my pastor is almost murdered, and then I decide to take vengeance into my own hands.
Yeah, and that's his plot for the episode. So now we don't have to talk about it anymore. Thanks, Swanson.
Yeah. Cut to the two other Rangers who aren't Walker or his partner.
Yeah.
I don't even know their names.
We had seen Walker and Trevette talking about Christmas gifts.
Oh yeah, there's a runner where Trevette. There's a runner, if that's what you really want to charitably call it, where Trevette is trying to figure out what to get Walker, and
which is never resolved, a gift. By the way.
No, it's not resolved at all. He just sort of offhandedly mentions something at the end, and then they all do.
They forgot.
They break the fourth wall to say, "Thanks for have a Merry Christmas, everyone."
Well, now and that's the episode, folks.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening.
No, this runner is not resolved in any way. It's just Trevette being like, "Hey, Walker, what do you want for Christmas, man? You got to give me a hint." And he's like, "I want nothing. I have no material value." For me, the best gift of Christmas is to watch other people receive.
Oh, interesting.
And Trevette's like, yeah, but you gotta want something. He's like, I have no earthly desires.
Want you to receive. Zip.
And he's like, yeah. A very bold take for Walker. So, we cut back to the Walker's other partners.
Yes.
Or not partners, the other people who work with them.
Yeah, they're at a different level.
Yeah, there's some light sexual harassment going on between them.
Oh, we forgot about the scene where the guy steals counterfeit money that they were going to use for the sting with the intention of purchasing goods and services with it.
Oh, yeah. That's good, right?
Yeah, he just takes the money, says, oh, I gotta enjoy sale. There's zero follow-up. For all intents and purposes, he did spend that counterfeit money.
Yeah, he apparently got away with it because the Rangers were busy with other stuff. So yeah, the Rangers are distracted by this woman who's clearly setting them up for a trap.
Yes, her car is rolling out of control. She's pushing an empty baby carrier.
Yeah,
for some reason.
Like, how does the car even do that? Like, the Rangers don't even think about it. They're just like, all right, gotta spring to action. Like, how does the car even move that way out of...
she forgot to turn the parking brake on.
They're not on a hill.
She left the engine running. And the gear stick and drive.
So, this guy jumps into the car and has to stop it.
I thought like someone was stealing the car for a second. I was like, oh, this guy's gonna have to jump in the driver window and punch a dude out. No, he just stops it. It's a fake baby. Both of the Rangers leave their posts to go do this, which is just bad. I didn't realize it was a fake baby at first. I just thought that the budget was bad.
Same. And then the Santas go for it. It's never explained how the Santas knew that the Rangers were on their trail.
The real Santa
otherwise,
told
why
them.
did they come up with this? And
maybe
then,
there's a man on the inside. And maybe it's that Ranger who stole the counterfeit money, since he's clearly morally bankrupt.
Okay, picture this. The movie Inside Man, but it's about mall Santas.
It would be the same film, just funnier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the same ending, too.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good movie. I fuck with it.
Yeah. I mean, listen, compared to that period of Spike Lee, it's probably his best of that era. So, the shootout occurs after this, which is the only time guns are used in this episode by the Rangers.
Are fired.
And also the only time anyone dies in this episode.
Oh yeah, this Santa gets lit the fuck up.
Which is definitely scarring some kids who are there watching this happen. They just watched a guy shoot Santa Claus.
Hey, Santa drew first.
It's true.
And they did identify
and there's no follow-up about this man's body, anything they find about this man.
No, they don't find anything from him. Maybe they just left him and let another department take over and never followed up on it.
I guess. Apparently Texas Rangers don't do any of the detective work. They just do all of the action part.
Which is probably for the best.
Yeah, fair.
Did I tell you my uncle, who I might have mentioned on the show before, former corrections officer, was going to be a Texas Ranger, but then he got in a motorcycle accident that paralyzed him for several months.
Oh, yeah, that's a...
lasting brain. Oh, he's not a good person.
Oh, okay, so it's fine.
He's like... My dad thinks he's a bit crazy, politically speaking.
Oh, so that's saying something.
Yeah. He once talked, in a glowing light about how Russian troops occupying Afghanistan would castrate insurgents. That's a memory that stuck with me.
Yeah, that sounds bad.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like a bad idea. Yeah, you know what? I would say
that
Walker himself wouldn't like that.
Counterpoint: the gun is good, the penis is evil.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. I meant to bring this up earlier. I was looking through the show's history, and the show ends in 2001, in May of 2001.
Yeah, he fights a guy and blows him up with a hand grenade or something.
Oh. Do you think Do you think that was a sign of what was coming?
Of what? The people were going to be blown up with hand grenades?
No, the show ending before 9/11.
Oh, no.
Like a clear divide between a certain era of America.
You know, you're not wrong. I would say, like, The Sopranos, you know, the first debut episode was more of a milestone in that regard, culturally speaking. Because before that, you have as I've said, you have the three families of the 20th century, the late 20th century, the Huxtables, the Simpsons, and the Sopranos. And now in our modern era, we don't have anyone. And that's why we're falling apart at the seams.
All families have been destroyed, Stairmaster.
Yes.
The final episode of Walker, Texas Ranger is a two-parter titled The Final Showdown.
Yes, true.
And follows a gang of Walker's former enemies who break out of the state penitentiary.
Yes.
And try to exact revenge on Walker and his Rangers.
I think one of them murdered CD. So it's personal for Walker.
Oh. Apparently they exterminate an entire company of Rangers, including Wade Harper, who is apparently some character who was on the show.
Yeah, that show could get wild sometimes. There's an episode where the blonde lady has this like prophetic vision of Walker eating shit and dying on one of his cases, and the episode ends with her waking up several days beforehand and warning Walker. And you don't even get to see him go through the timeline the right way. You're just like, oh, well, now he's got it.
Oh, he doesn't. They don't even kill CD in a gun shootout. He just poisons CD with ricin. Was he Walter White?
I thought he got shot by a sniper all these years. Learning that has broken my heart.
It's no good. Like, what is he, Walter White? Why do you... CD, are you feeling a little ill?
I don't know.
Maybe you should have checked your coffee. So yeah, back over in the actual episode we watched. They don't get anything from this Santa, but I guess they get a lead on where all the Santas are located.
They get a lead on one guy, I think.
Yeah, but also it's not just one guy. It's apparently where all the Santas live because they reused that same set later for when they get all the other ones.
I think they used the house next door for the other scene. Swanson, be nice.
Okay, so the Santas are living next to each other.
I'm pretty sure it was on the same street.
Yeah. Before we get that, though, we get this is truly great. So the choir at the children's choir is singing in the church, which means that the back rooms are unoccupied for the gang to come in and steal.
Yes,
and they just sort of
street vendejos, whatever they're called,
Vados, that's right. That's what they were called. There's a bit here where they go in and then the singing is stopped because they have to go get more sheet music.
Yeah, they ran out of songs to sing.
I guess.
One of the kids kept eating the sheets.
One of the guys just says, "No singing, man!"
Well, it's true. That is the situation they're in.
And then they wait and they hear the singing come up again. And he says, see? Singing. Now it's time for us to start stealing. There's a weird bit here where they keep referring to a toy that I've never heard of called a Bean Pal.
Yeah, that's a Beanie Baby, I think.
Yeah, I guess it's just like they
This was 1998, remember? Beanie Baby fever was king.
It's true, yeah. That was before no one wanted them, ever.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I would just get my mom Beanie Babies for Mother's Day. She didn't actually want any, though. This went on for years.
I think I also recall giving my mother Beanie Babies. I don't remember if she wanted them or not, but I do remember getting them.
We just saw them on TV, and we were like, hey, these are kind of girly.
Yeah, that's...
I'm sorry, Mom.
It was a different era.
I got her Beanie Babies I don't want, and I mooch off of old for weed. I'm the worst son ever.
I don't know about ever. There's probably worse. I can't think of any right now, but there's probably worse.
Like the Joker?
I mean, yeah, doesn't he? Yeah, he's worse.
Maybe she had it coming. Who knows? It's ambiguous.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
We don't know the full story there.
So this scene is wild. Yes. The pastor goes to the back, sees them, and says, "What's going on here?" They leave. They go to leave, and
two of them
him.
shuffle past him, and the third one really shoves him really hard.
Not even really hard. He just sort of shoves him, and the editing, they slow it down so that he hits the wall, and it sounds like they make it look like he died, like it's Grand Theft Auto. He just got wasted. This man, like.
It looks like, it's like in a Hong Kong scene when they'll do slow-mo when people die. Like, in a sad way.
Oh, is that what you think they're trying to go for?
No. I think it looked like shit, and that was the only way they could think to fix it.
He gets thrown against the wall, and then ragdolls to the ground.
Yeah, the Half-Life 2 death sound. Boop, boop, boop.
And they leave, and then Juan conveniently comes in. And he's like, Pastor! Somebody
help! And he does the Rob Lowe scream.
Yeah.
Almost.
It would be great. It would be better if he was just like, now! Ow! So yeah. They cut to the next scene. CD says they're operating on him. This man was just pushed into a wall.
He bumped his head.
It's like they're operating on him, and then he's in a coma from being shoved into the wall.
Listen, Swanson.
Like, it's not like this man was portrayed as old and frail. He was like at best 50. And he just gets shoved into the wall slightly hard and
maybe
dies.
He had a stroke from the shock.
They should have said that. Instead, they just have him say they're operating on him. Operating on what? Even if you have a stroke, what are you operating on? I guess you're getting rid of the blockage, but...
Yes.
But, like, if he just, like, bumped his head, there's not much you can do operation-wise.
I guess he broke his skull, but he's not bandaged or anything.
No. So... Juan is talking with CD, and he's like, I know who did this, and they're gonna pay. CD says nothing about this. he hears him say it, and he's just like,
Texas
all right.
Ranger. Here's him conspiring to commit murder.
And, well, I mean, at the very least, CD could just be like, hey, hold it there, pal.
Hey, why don't I have a hot glass of water?
Yeah. So we cut back to the other two Rangers. They track down where one Santa is going to be, and they do a real good job profiling right before they even get there.
Yeah.
Where they're like, yeah, I don't like the look of this place.
And that's
definitely criminals here.
And this is where we get the no-knock warrant, where they just start beating people up without saying who they are.
They say nothing about who they are, what they're doing here. One guy says that they should back off and then touches one of them, so that's enough reason to start out a whole fight.
Yeah, there's 3 guys in front of the door.
A lot of kicking, a lot of punching,
a lot of throwing,
but a lot of slow-mo.
There's no sex of boxes to be seen in this episode.
Well,
no one gets thrown into anything.
No, that's a shame. There's a roundhouse kick here, which is which is what you want.
Yeah, there's also a sick jump kick at the end when the guy tries to run out the back and what's his name chases him down.
Oh, yeah. They catch this guy, and I think this scene comes later, but I just want to talk about it now. And then they do an interrogation with him, which I think is the funniest interrogation scene I've ever seen. Where
it seems like Tim Heidecker wrote this.
It really, now that you said it, I could see him performing this. The guy is talking, and he's like, well, we could do this the easy way or the hard way. And then he just like sort of flips up a chair and lays it on the table.
Like, you can be in jail for this long, and has his fingers far apart, very close together. Or you can be in jail for this long and spreads his arms out, and the guy's silent.
Yeah.
Like, maybe I'll give you a visual aid, and he pulls out a little slip of paper. And then the chair.
And then he slams a chair on the table. And I guess that's the thing that gets him to talk.
Wow, that chair is really big.
Oh, I would hate to be hit with that chair.
I would hate to be a chair. Your argument.
I don't want to be.
Me over.
Oh, is he gonna make me like that chair? I don't want to be like that.
Oh no, am I gonna be erotically transformed into his chair?
And then be sat on by him?
At his house?
I don't want that. Although I do want that.
Please do not DM us.
So they give him everything he wants. Also, I almost forgot this part, and I was gonna kick myself if I forgot to mention this. He says the line, "Give up the other Santas!"
Yeah.
Which is good. We get a quick shot of Juan buying a gun real quick.
Yeah, there's a little snub nose.
Yeah.
On the street corners.
Yeah, of course. That's how you get... At least Walker, Texas Ranger, realized how easy it is to get a gun in Texas. So they're still jamming in Christmas songs every chance they get in this episode. We're on, like, at this point, I think when he's buying the gun, we're on, like, our third version of Hallelujah. There's a bit here where the Walker and his partner are following the sale of these bean pals.
Yes.
And
they're at the pawn shop.
They meet these guys outside of the pawn shop who are part of the gang.
Yes, the
and I love how this action scene starts with Chuck Norris, where he takes down two men with back pats. He just sort of pats them on the back and they fall over.
It's like Bleach. If you get too close to a spiritual pressure, you're just out for a bit.
But also the sound effects do a great job here because he hits them and with what seems to be just two like generic, some nice pats on the back, and it sounds like he murdered them. It's just like. And then we get like a fun little bit where the pawn guy is like closing up. He closes up his shop when he sees the cops are there.
Yeah. Well, he sees someone kicking these guys' asses.
No follow-up, by the way, in this scene after this scene of these people who have been arrested.
Yeah, they don't.
No
sell
info
their
gathered. They don't do anything about that.
We don't get a scene where they give up their boss in an interrogation or anything.
Nope. All that Walker and his partner do after they have arrested these people, instead of interrogating them, apparently, is just sort of drive around and hear rumors that Juan might be thinking of doing something.
Yeah, they're just at the drive-thru, and the guy's like, "You heard about Juan?"
He's like, "Huh? I guess Juan's planning something." So they we get to the final scene here. Jumping ahead a little bit because there's some other stuff, but it's not important. The Santa plot is thoroughly finished. They go and they track down these other Santas and crack some skulls.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, the woman gets it extra hard for deceiving them.
Because she deceived them with a fake child, she must get it extra hard.
She gets like slapped in the face and then like judo thrown onto the hood of a car.
Yeah, and then like kicked again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty fun scene, I guess, as far as action scenes in this movie go. So we get to the end here. Juan's friend and his wife are having their baby, so he's rushing to the hospital. Listen, man, I don't know if anyone's ever told you this about having like a child or anything, but you don't need to speed to the hospital.
Yeah, that usually causes more problems than it solves.
This man is, he's like, it's like, I don't know if they were intentionally making it seem like he was speeding, but he's definitely speeding.
Well, he apparently does blow a stoplight.
Yeah, yeah. I'm assuming like.
Right?
I guess he wasn't paying attention. Yeah, I guess that's what they were going for. Because I guess at first I did think it was the other person who blew the stoplight, but
yeah, who knows?
I'm
too lazy to check.
For the conclusion to Juan's arc, he confronts his friend. His friend, I guess, doesn't bring any backup.
Well, they're all in
and
jail.
just shows by himself.
All he has left are the two dudes who are easily shoved around.
Yeah, you can't have them there with you. He'll just get shoved. So he shows up, they pull out the guns on one another. Walker shows up and starts reciting Bible verses. He's like, all right, Juan, tell me, what did Jesus say to the man when he was on the cross? That's right. Are you going to be like Jesus, Juan? So they resolve, there's no tension, because I did think they were going to go with the generic, like, Juan gets murdered, or like Juan's friend shows up to save him and dies.
No, he just puts his gun down and cries.
Yeah, and then the most batshit part of the episode happens.
It is kind of weird how his friend just lets himself be arrested. Well, his enemy now.
Yeah.
Like, he has a gun, he could just leave.
Yeah, well, he knows what Walker's capable of.
Yes.
He saw those two backpacks.
He saw surviving edged weapons. He knows the 21-foot rule.
So Juan's friend, not his enemy, but his friend,
his actual friend, Jose,
crashes his car right next to him, I guess. Who knew the hospital was so close to Arlington Square, where all gang fights happen?
We didn't mention that the Star of Bethlehem is in the sky now.
Oh, yeah, and is, like, guiding people.
Or distracting. I thought it was going to distract him and cause a car accident.
That would have been something, right?
Yeah,
I feel like it would have been some mixed messaging with the ending.
Jose almost sideswipes, crashes into this car, blowing a stoplight. He swerves out of the way into the parking lot and, like, climbs two cars and gets sandwiched under a third one?
Yeah, something like that.
And,
like
then a la Terminator 2, a spark immediately happens and leaking fuel catches on fire.
So Walker and all of the cast that are there have to go save him and his wife. And they're carrying her away as an explosion happens and just sort of walk away from it with no ramifications from them.
Oh yeah,
the explosion happens like
carrying a pregnant woman.
Yes, like... And the explosion happens right, like, not even a foot away from him.
Yeah, so they carry her to the nativity scene that's been conveniently set up in this park. So
they just had to. They had to. They couldn't. As if they weren't obvious enough about what was going on in this episode, they had to recreate the manger.
There's no three wise men as far as I can tell, and it says Walker.
Well, Walker's there.
And Juan's friend.
Yeah. No, it's Juan.
Juan has to be Joseph, right? Since he's the father of the child.
Juan's not the father. Juan's friend is the father.
Oh.
Juan is, I guess Juan, because they're the moral ones, Juan, Trevette, and Walker are the three wise men, and I guess his friend is the goat or something.
And the gang leader
it was a lamb.
And the gang leader is Herodis. Or whoever the fuck it was.
Herod, yeah.
Polyamorous Maximus.
Oh, that would be a great Roman emperor.
I think it was one of them. You know how many they had?
It might have been many Roman emperors. Yeah, so they recreate the manger. Everything goes well.
Yes, the Star of Bethlehem shines even brighter and everyone sees it.
Yeah, that's right. So there's this bit here where the baby is born, but it's not breathing. By the way, this baby is at least like a year old because it has a full head of hair.
Also, it's not covered in blood and there's no placenta.
Yeah.
Or umbilical cord.
Yeah, there's no scene of Walker having to like karate chop the umbilical cord off.
He roundhouse kicks into slow motion. The baby's not breathing, so Juan starts praying harder than he's ever prayed in his life. It's not a very good prayer.
Yeah, the star glows, and glows enough for them to all be lit by it, and the baby begins to breathe and, like, cry.
Because existence is agony.
Yeah.
And we simply just get used to it.
We cut to CD looking out the window as the star also is shining, and the pastor wakes up. Cut to sometime later, this guy is willingly going to jail, and he says, "Hey, listen, don't worry, though, I've been converted."
I've been born again, Tone!
It is weird that they decide to end this with a man pleading for God to not murder a child. I guess is what happened.
But hold on.
And it does seem like he was sort of begrudgingly like, I guess this will do.
So is the child Christ?
I don't know. They didn't have enough seasons afterwards to follow up on it.
Yeah. Maybe that's what's going to be. That's going to be the theme in the reboot, is what happened to that child.
Oh, yeah. It's just, what's the Arnie movie where he has to fight the devil?
Judgment Day? End of Days. End of Days. 2.
Yeah, okay, it's just that, but it's Chuck Norris having the...
That's a nope for me, fam.
Yeah, that'd be no good. Anyway, that's pretty much the end. We end with like a bit where they break the fourth wall and say like, "Hey, Merry Christmas" or whatever. From
the Walker family.
Yeah. And that's pretty much the episode. Final thoughts?
No. We have said all that needs to be said about this episode.
Yeah.
Perhaps more than needed to be said.
It's wild. I have mixed feelings on this. I don't know if I should tune in or tune out.
I feel like this is like the perfect for an irony watch.
Yeah, I think Walker, more than any bad TV show, is the most like perfect irony watch TV show. Because you're gonna get stuff that makes no sense. You're gonna get stuff that is like just dumb, and it's fun to just watch, and like the unintentional comedy is so high that it turns back around. It's like the Room of TV shows.
Yes, it's like a Neil Breen film.
Yeah,
sort of.
That's actually more accurate, I think, because of both of them that seem to have a poor concept on how people
similar
interact
budgets
and talk, and similar budgets. I'm gonna give it a tune in. I think.
Yeah, I gotta give it a tune in.
So the first Christmas tune in, and it's Walker, Texas Ranger. Who could have guessed?
Hopefully not the last, because that would be really embarrassing.
That's right. And that's about it for this week's episode of the show. Have a happy holidays, folks. We're going to be back.
Or happy
We're going to be back next week with more. And hey, listen, with the holidays coming to an end, and soon the Bleachcast also coming to an end, we're going to be getting to your Buy Me a Coffee submissions. And if you haven't done one yet, and you have a topic that you're itching for us to describe, maybe it's more Walker, Texas Ranger.
Yeah, please no.
All you got to do is go over to Buy Me a Coffee, donate by giving us a single coffee, gives you a single thing for us to talk about. And
please,
you tell us what you want it to be. It could be anything. Tell us what you want it to be, and we'll do it. It's over at buymeacoffee.com/TV Tuners. You can go find it over there. And we'll be back next week with more TV goodness. Till then, keep watching. Bye.
Oh.